what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Check the Rock podcast. I got my girl Antoinette Watkins with me today. Got a very special guest. How you doing, Ms. Watkins?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. I'm doing just fine. I see you outside. It looks wonderful where you're at. Over here, it's raining. So,
Oh man, yeah, it's nice and sunny, and people are outside busy today.
hey, that's how it is, that's how it is down there, I guess. So you're from Florida, correct?
I am. I'm a student at Florida International University. I just finished my internship exchange with Virginia State, so I am in Virginia, where Virginia State is at. And then now that my internship is over, I'll be moving back to Miami in the next month.
Okay. Well, back to Miami. So right now you're currently in Virginia, correct?
Correct.
All right. Miami. How was it growing up in Miami?
Well, I was not born and raised in Miami. I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, okay.
And I was in Miami for 2 years for college. I only went to Miami for school. I
Okay.
like
That's
Miami
how
better
you.
than I like Tampa, but I feel like I like Miami better than I like Tampa because Tampa wasn't as developed as it is now. You know, Tom
Mhm.
Brady came and the Bucks had a little turnaround and rebrand. So Tampa is now a different city than it was when I was growing up.
Got you, got you. I know Miami. I know people always tell me that it's great to visit, but maybe not to live. So that I only experienced it from a visitor's point of view. I've been down there on two separate occasions, once for vacation and once for a different reason. So I always thought it was a beautiful, beautiful city. I mean, I think both are beautiful cities, though. I will say that. So you were at the Black Sports Symposium. So I want to ask you a question. There's two parts to this question. So the first part of the question was, what was your favorite moment? And the second part of the question is, what was your favorite session or speaker?
Ooh, so my favorite moment was definitely the first day. I think the first day was like the thrill. Like
Mhm.
everybody was there. Everybody was like gleed, happy to see everyone, the network. My favorite moment, or not my favorite moment, my favorite session was probably the locker room session. His name is slipping my mouth right now.
To my Eric Thomas.
Yes, Eric
Yeah.
Thomas.
Okay.
That was the
Yeah,
first
you were in
time I'd
that one.
ever
Okay.
seen him in person.
Hmm.
I'd never seen it. You know, I've always had the Instagram or YouTube
Yeah.
experience, but to have the personal experience, at first I didn't understand why they made him do it in that small, tight room. But I kind of understand like the transfer of energy and just the motivation and most motivational energy that was in the space. I really appreciated it.
Yeah, I was told that he actually requested to have it in that room. That he
Oh wow.
requested to have it in a smaller room. That he didn't want to be on the big stage. And I think in my opinion, I was there too. It made it more intimate. Even though I feel like he could have still had the same impact on the big stage, but I feel like because it was in the locker room, because we were so I ain't gonna say packed in there, but because we were so in such a close proximity to him, that it made you feel it more. So I mean, those are. But I would have to agree with you on both moments. I mean, like I say, just the experience in itself was great. So I was reading up a little bit about you, and I know at the age of 6, you found out that you had a type 1 diabetes, correct?
Correct.
But that but you never so you never really experienced too bad of a issues because you were able to go to camps, right?
Right. Yep. So I
So
got
so
diagnosed at 6.
oh,
Went straight to
but
camp.
that's amazing because I've never heard of, well, obviously I don't have type 1 diabetes, but I never heard of such camps. So tell me about these camps and where can people find out more information about them?
So there are diabetes camps around the nation. Diabetes camps, they're basically like overnight camps. Some of them have day camps where children with type 1 diabetes, they go there. They learn how to count their carbs, change pump sites, learn how to properly tell someone else that they have type 1 diabetes or inform someone else on how to take care of them if they're not under the care of the original person that takes care of them. And you also do like fun stuff like meet other kids that are like you, that are dealing with the same issues with you, especially because diabetes is a very invisible disease. So it can be hard to have other people understand what's going on with you because they can't really relate or understand because they don't physically see a reaction of what's going on internally. And then camp is also fun. It's still camp like normal kids. I learned how to swim at camp. I still teach as a swim instructor now, and I'm a lifeguard, and I give that credit fully to camp. I grew up at the age of 6 swimming across the lake. That's how I learned how to swim, and I learned how to do that at camp. I also learned how to do archery at camp. I learned how to rock climb, tightrope. Like it was a full experience of a camp environment, just a setting that is appropriate for diabetics. There was doctors there, pre-med students from the universities in the area there trying to get their clinical hours. So it was just a good experience for me to have as a child growing up, and I give it a lot of credit for my ability to manage myself with diabetes now.
So these camps are what do they normally cost? Like what's the average cost for the camps?
Look, diabetes right now, so I gotta take some more insulin. But so basically the average cost camps, minimum cost I've seen to date from the research that I've done within my organization, it's probably about $500. And that's pre-COVID research. So post-COVID research is probably the minimum is probably much higher because you have to do extra protocol to make sure that the children are safe. I know the camp that I'm working with this year, they do have a sliding scale. But it's about $1,700 to cover a child for just 1 week of camp, and that's really expensive, especially for children of minority that or anyone who is not financially in the position to send their child to camp to have that opportunity every year for $500 and just be like, okay, cool, go to camp for a whole week. And so that's why I kind of created my organization that I have to help with that issue once I got older and realized that that was such an expensive experience and privilege to have.
So yeah, that's exactly what I was about to allude to and go to next. That's one of the reasons why you created your organization, Diabaddies, was because you have so many people, brown and black people that can't afford those camps, and so you kind of step in and you fill that gap, and you make it more cost efficient for these families to go to these camps. So tell us about that, and tell us why we know what inspired you, but tell us, when you started it and what you do and what you guys do over there.
So I started Diabaddie in 2019 after one of my second years volunteering as a counselor. So of course I went to camp from age 6 when I got diagnosed all the way up to 18. And then I went back for when I turned 18 and in the year of my 19th birthday to just volunteer as a counselor. And that was around the time when I changed my major to nutrition and dietetics for sports nutrition. And so I started learning about needing clinical hours in order to advance my studies. And also just to apply for my RD exam. And then I also learned about other pre-med students needing clinical hours. So when I went back, my experience was way different because it was like not only was I realizing that I was a counselor there, I was also realizing I was the only counselor of color there at camp. And then that made me look at camps differently because I now knew that the counselors that were working there were pre-med students trying to get into medical school, and they were needing the experience of camp for clinical hours. And so I was like, okay, so if there's no black students here, then there's no way HBCUs know about it. There's no brown people here. There's no way HSIs know about it. And so that's how my organization also developed to start working on solving the issue from both sides of really sending the kids to camp, giving them scholarships, and also working on creating a liaison between HBCUs and HSIs so that we can bring more students to the camp as well to volunteer and, just heighten the awareness of doctors that are brown and black to tell the children and not the student's child, the patients that are type 1 diabetic that are brown or black that have diabetes about the camps.
Also, something that I've seen on your website that 44% of 44% of the camps is white, and such the smaller percentage of the black and brown people, but I'm pretty sure that black and brown people have diabetes just as much, correct?
Actually, yeah. So the percentage of black and brown patients with type 1 diabetes is actually higher.
Okay.
So I can't remember the exact statistics at this moment, but there's about 2 million people in the U.S. that have type 1 diabetes. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the percentage is within the 40s of those people are African American. And then it's like another 20% that are Asian and then Hispanic. So that's a large percentage of minorities versus, non-minority races. So it's not what's shown, but more is effective than what's shown. And that's why I think those minorities are not aware of the resources, because it's kind of geared, unfortunately, to one lane of sight. And so I think other organizations are now aware of that, and so they're working on making that available. But I really want my organization to make it available and spread that awareness by kind of getting the general population involved as well, not just only informing the diabetic community, but informing all communities about diabetes, so that we can all be responsible for passing around the resources and information.
That's great. That's great. So the next question I have for you is, you have a big event coming up next weekend on the 23rd. You have a big tournament. So tell us about the tournament. I know it's some 3-on-3, it's some 5-on-5. Tell us about the tournament and how it came about.
Yeah, so this tournament is called the Hoops for Shots basketball tournament. We are so grateful to host it in Richmond, Virginia. It's in partnership with a good family friend of mine, Good Money Counting Kit. They have previously hosted a basketball tournament, and we thought it was just a great idea to take the exposure that tournament had and bring it to type 1 diabetes. Just because we were like, how can we get the general population involved with type 1 diabetes? Because, we are your family, we care about you, and we know about it, but we want other people around us to feel comfortable to learn about it as well, even if they don't know you directly, just because you're an affiliate of us. And so we came up with a tournament, and I really pushed the idea of making it a large tournament. And so, we did our work. We got sponsors and tried to get people involved to basically create a way for people to have a little cookout. So we're gonna have vendors there. There'll be prizes for the shot contest, 3-on-3 games, 5-on-5 games, and there'll also be artists there, a DJ. So it's gonna be really just a celebration of diabetes, more so less than a we're raising money for research or like a sad cause. It's going to be more of a positive cause. We're sending a kid to camp. We're here on the courts. We're playing basketball on a Saturday outside. We're eating good food, getting some ices, singing some good songs, dancing to some music, and making sure that other people are also aware of the diabetic community, and making more people of minority feel comfortable about coming out about being a double minority. I mean, when you are type 1 diabetic and you're a minority, you become a minority of not only your race, but a minority of having a chronic disease. And so it's just kind of hard to feel like you always have a community. And so this way we're bringing the community together so that you don't have to separate them.
Got you. So, you mentioned that you grew up in Tampa Bay. Are you a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan?
Can I not answer that? Yeah.
So you are a fan before Tom Brady or after Tom Brady?
See, that's why I said, can I not answer that? See, we have to go with the stats. And if we go by the stats, I gotta leave Tampa to the side. If we go with the stats after Tom, we love Tom. He's great. From the nutritional perspective, we love Tom and his diet, and we know why he plays so well. And so then that makes me a Bucs fan after him.
Got you. So what teams did you follow, and what sports do you follow? You follow NBA, NFL, WNBA?
I do follow more of NBA. Go Lakers. We are Lakers fans over here in my family. My dad is from Carson, California. So we're Lakers fans over here. And LA Rams by default. So that's also just a family tie.
Look, I was with you when you said the Lakers. Now you mentioned the Rams. We might have to change the subject and talk about something else.
So you was mad about Super Bowl. You was mad.
Yeah, I mean they beat my boys to make it to the Super Bowl. They beat my 49ers, you know what I'm saying, after we, beat them 2 times in the regular season. But it's neat. That's neither here nor there, I guess. But so the question I do want to ask you is, the Lakers, should they get Kyrie? Do you think they will get Kyrie? Should they do it? What you think?
I don't really need him, but I mean, he'd be a good addition, though. He would be a good addition. He would, but we don't. I mean, we don't need him.
So you don't think we need to get rid of Westbrook?
Okay.
kind of go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
Got you, got you. And with your Rams, you think they're gonna be back there again?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Adele got injured, but like he still got the victory, and I'm sure he's gonna win another one. Like we're coming back, round two, round two for sure.
Got you. I mean, as a
Like
fan,
that's a big perseverance. Like I really respect him because just his whole story. I'm very big on perseverance, especially like for he just being an entrepreneur. I know LA Rams is making a comeback.
for sure, I agree with you. So I do want to say this now. Tell people where they can go if they do want to donate to your tournament. If they do want to donate to your organization, where can they go to do that?
So you can donate online at diabaddies.org. We are taking donations directly to the site. We also have our Instagrams up with a PayPal link for our fundraiser. We are trying to raise up to $20,000 so that we can send a minimum of 5 kids to camp next year. All the fundraising for the camp this year will go towards the Chris Dudley Foundation. And so as much funds as we get in, all of those funds will go directly to the kids for them to go to camp. The camp is in Oregon, so we'll be taking kids from all over. Like last year, one of the kids we sponsored, she went to a camp virtually in Florida, but she was from LA. And so it's just we want to give the kids an opportunity to go to whatever camp is comfortable for them, whether it's in their area, whether they do want to go to a basketball or sports camp that's a diabetes camp or not.
Hey, and I do want to say this: no amount is too small, guys. So if you do only, if you can only donate $1 or $5 or $10, I mean, it's better than nothing. This is going to a great cause. Like I said, Antoinette Watkins, I really do appreciate you for stopping through. But like I said, I just can't stress enough how important these camps are, because like she said, because she was able to go to these camps, she never really had any real big health issues, because she was able to go to the camps. She was able to get properly educated, so, and these kids deserve that too, but so they could be properly educated as well. So if you do want to reach out to her, you can email her at diabaddie organization at gmail.com. I'm pretty sure, I was able to get up with her through email and through LinkedIn. So if I could get up with her, I'm pretty sure you guys can too. So
Yeah.
is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, but well, actually, I just appreciate anyone that does donate. And like you said, all donations go straight to the kids. When you do this, not only do you make sure that like we spread awareness, but you make sure someone's life is good with diabetes, that they're able to just be informed on how to take care of this on their own. And that's just really the strength of why I really want to provide the scholarship. So any sponsorship or donation of any sort is helpful, whether it's $1, it's $5, $10. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Ms. Watkins, for stopping through and spending some time with me today. And just make sure that we push this forward, that we push diabetes.org forward, and just your whole organization. And I do wish you the best of blessings to your organization. I know your tournament will be amazing. All right.
Yeah.
And next year, if you have it, I'm gonna try and be there. All right.
Yes, please come out. Come out.
All right. We'll see you later. Okay.
All righty.